So today we'll be working on a corset pattern, and this corset pattern can be used to do or make designs that are of illusion corsets, and you can also use your normal fabric to create this corset pattern as well. So for now we're working with a bust 36 inches, which is 96.5 cm. Now I have my measurements intact. Now where we have on the bust 38 cm is now on the bust 36.7 cm. So the first thing, after you like drawn out or trace out your pattern from the half bodice block, you can extend the length to the hip line as much as you want. So first thing for us to do is now to add or draw out lines that are not on the basic draft. Now we need to indicate our bust point. After the bust point, you indicate the under bust length. So first I'm going to look for the bust point first. Now to do that, place your tape measure on the NP. The bust point here is 28 cm. So at this point, I'm going to dot it and I'll square it to the center front. Seeing that line gives me an indication that I have my bust point area here, and you square it up to the center front bust point. Now once that is done, the next thing for you to do is to measure the under bust length. Under bust length for this draft is 37 cm. Now place this here, 37 cm. You measure it and square it to the back pattern as well, to the center back. Now that we have drawn out the bust point and the under bust line, now the next thing for you to do is to measure everything you have on the under bust line, the waistline and the hip line as well. You know that the hip line does not have any excess. The hip we're working on is hip 109, which is 43 inches. So next for me to do is to get all the measurements on each line. But before I do that, I need to get the framework of this draft first, which is important. You need to get the frame of the cup corset piece. That's very important. Now to go further, on the bust line you go in ½ inch, and you can as well do 1 cm, ½ inch or 1 cm, then square it, connect it back to the waistline. Once that is done, I can go ahead and take my radius measurement now. Now after you get the radius of your draft, all you need to do is to look for the distance between the bust point and the under bust. For these drafts, the distance between the bust point to the under bust is 9 cm, as we can see. So that's going to determine the radius of the corset cup piece. If you have your own protractor, you can set it up to 9 cm, then use it to draw out the radius line. And if you don't want to do that, you can as well place it this way on your bust point. The one that is done, now I have my radius. Now what the radius does is that it helps you to give you a guideline as to the height of the corset cup piece, which does not determine that it must actually start from here, but it gives you an instance of the height of the cup itself, and which also helps you to link this radius line to the underarm point. So next to do is to get our frame out.
How are you?
Next thing in line to do is from the boss point, measure 3 cm or 3.5 cm upward. That will give you the cleavage rib point area. So when you go up 3 cm, you come out, you come inward 1 to 1.5 cm. I'm going to do 1.5 cm here. 1.5 cm. Once that is done, you need to come to the underboss and take 1 cm on both the right side and the left side of your underboss line. Now this is very constant when you're actually drafting using the flag pattern technique that is taught to you on the C Academy platform. It's very important if I follow the procedures to help you get the right connections. So now you're going to do 1 cm here, but before that, there's a need for us to get the frame width, which is the corset frame width. And to do that, you all need to do, come to this underboss line and do half of the chest width. Half of the chest width for this draft is 37 cm. The chest width is 37 cm. Half is 18.5. Now come here and measure your 18.5. To the 18.5 cm. Sometimes you can add it more to be plus 1 cm, it can be 19.5 cm, but I'm going to work with my 18. So you can trace it up towards the underarm point, 18.5, and this is what I have here. So when you do the tracing, you're going to have something like this. Do a dotted line. Now you can bring it up towards the chest line, which is this area, or close to where the curve of the armhole is showing. Now once this is done, I told you earlier that you need to take 1 cm to the right, 1 cm to the left. So I have my 1 cm, and here I also have my 1 cm as well. So next thing for you to do is to connect the frame for you to see how it works. So place your curve ruler on this rib frame around the cleavage area, then ensure it touches this point. Then place it again this way. While you're doing this way, you need to extend out of the width of the frame, which is half of your chest width. Now extend that like 1 cm out of that frame, or ensure to have your curve ruler towards the armhole line. Now I have this, then I can do this. You have this, and you also have this as well. I'm trying to reconnect this part. I've done that before. Now once you have this frame like gotten out, we already know that the right way to connect these stuffs is for you to ensure that this radius height comes flowing down to the base of the underarm point, that is the armhole line. So all you need to do is, if you're not too sure, you can just still do this, coming down here. And if you would like to bring this downward, you can do that. Just ensure that the frame area is touching the line that gives us an indication of the height of the frame and the radius area. So while this has been done, we need to come back to measure everything on the underboss line, the waistline. We'll do that for both front and back. Let's quickly do that calculation. Now I have this. Here I have 3 inches to this point. You omit the dart area. To this point I have 858. So you need to record it down. This is also 3. Jump that. I have 858 as well. That is 8.625. Come to the back pattern and do the same thing. I have 4 3/4, 4 3/8. Then now I have altogether here 8 3/4. So 8 3/4 on the underbust line of the back. Come to the waistline. This is 4 inches. This is 8 inches. Now for the hips is actually intact. The hips is intact. This is 10.78. The same thing, 10.78, 10.78. So we don't have any excess on the hip line, except where you want to reduce it. So now, once you've done this, we now have to add these two together. So adding these two together, we are going to have 3/4 plus 5/8 is going to give us 3/4. So we have a 3/4, we have 5/8, 1. That's 138. So 138 plus 16, that's 17 3/8. Here we have 16 5/8. Now we need to compare these measurements with what we have as the main measurement. Don't forget that this is in inches. You convert it back to cm as much as you like. So 17 3/8 in cm the 17 3/8 in cm, this is 40. 17 3/8 here, this is giving us 44 cm. This 17 3/8 is 44 cm, while 16 5/8 is 42 cm. Now compare it with what we have as their actual pattern, the actual measurement rather. Now on the pattern we have 44 cm on the underbust. The underbust for this person here, half of the underbust here is 38 cm. So you're going to subtract what you have on the pattern from what the main measurement of the person is. This is on the pattern. This is the actual of the model you're working on. So the difference will give you the excess that is on the underbust area. You do the same thing for the waistline as well. The waist and the underbust of this person is the same thing. So you're going to also put 38 cm here. If you look at it, the waist is 38 cm, half of it. The underbust round also is also 38 cm. So if you subtract 42 from 38, that's going to give us 4 cm excess on the waist, while we have 6 cm excess on around the underbust area. So all I need to do is to check. Now, since we have 6 cm as the excess on the underbust, don't forget that we already took 1 cm and 1 cm to the right and left of the underbust, that area. So we are left with 4 cm. So I need to share that 4 cm adequately so I can have a proper sharing of how the dart should go.